Welcome back. Hope you're having a good morning. Amnish Aggarwal, Head of Research at Prabhudas Lilladher, joins us on the show. Hi, Amnish. Thanks a lot for joining in. Amnish, wanted to ask you your view on metals. You know, we're having soundbites coming out of China that indicates that they're trying to make a bit of an effort out there to pull their economy out of the doldrums. What's your view on metals? You know, normally you'll see a positive rub-off, but what's the pick of the pack?
Okay. You see, in terms of metals, as you rightly said, a lot depends on China because the kind of consumption and the production which is there in China is multiple times than what we have in India. And if there are serious attempts to bring the China out of, you can say, out of a slowdown, plus the kind of interest rate cuts which we are now witnessing in Europe and US, and if there is some revival in demand, then the metal prices can actually improve from here. And Indian metal stocks usually react positively to the increase in the metal prices globally. So at the current juncture, the two stocks in metal which we are liking, Hindelco, look more as a structural pick because of Novelis and because the way the company is positioned. Otherwise, in the ferrous space, we have been liking two stocks in particular. One is Jindal Stainless and another is JSPL. But incrementally, I think it will all depend upon how the international moves come. And if the international prices remain firm and the demand revives, then we could see more up move coming in some of the metal stocks.
No, I mean, absolutely. The thing is with this China stimulus, etc., is that they've said so much over the last couple of months that they've announced some things here, there. So you've got to really sort of look at what really happens. I mean, it's not like a given thing. It's not a surprise. I mean, this was expected, and a lot has been done before as well. So the market is a bit more skeptical at this point. Just a few names, Amnish, I want to throw your way. These are big movers, right? Amber was a big one, which went up. SBFC, I don't see any very much brokerage coverage, which is small business finance. Fairly recent listing, went up 20%. And maybe VIP Industries, if you have any thoughts. Amber, SBFC and VIP.
You see, VIP Industries has been under pressure. If you look at, say, last couple of years, the inventory has been piling. They have even lost some market share. But in the past few months, the company has been in the process of clearing the inventory. Now, I think the raw material prices are favorable, and the second half is likely to see some sort of a revival in demand overall for the industry because 1Q in particular, and I think even up to maybe July, August, the demand has not been that great. So like what is happening in the entire consumption space, the entire hopes are hinging on, you can say, what happens in the upcoming marriage and festival season. And with a lot of the, you can say, the old inventory getting out of the way in VIP, I think things could be, you can say, things could start improving from here. And this is one stock in the consumption space, again, which has come up significantly from 700 rupees plus, and the kind of frenzy we are witnessing in your consumption stocks. I think VIP could also be, you can say, one such stock where the market believes that the performance might have bottomed out, the things might start looking up with the revival in the festival season.
But VIP versus Safari, what's the choice between the two at these valuations, at these levels?
I've been preferring Safari over VIP because the visibility of growth here has been strong. In Safari, I think they are expanding the capacity significantly and they have been gaining market share. So on a relative basis, we prefer Safari over VIP.
Got it. All right. Let's talk about a couple of these PSU banks. Then, you have PNBA that's announced that QIP of around 2,500 crores. And there was a big, a lot of enthusiasm with regard to PSUs on the whole, and banks as well did participate. In the last, 10 days or so, we've seen that the private sector banks actually have outperformed. Your pick from the banking space?
You see, PSU banks have been leading the pack. If you look at, say, last 12 to 15 months, PSUs have done particularly well. The price to book of most of the PSU banks, say 1 year and a half back, it was 0.5, 0.6, and subsequent to the re-rating, which is, it was not in the air. You see, your books are improving, your NPAs are coming down, and the growth rates have been better. But now, if you look at on a relative basis, private banks, their price to book today is significantly lower than where they used to trade pre-COVID. So that is why the private banks actually give you a good trade at the current juncture. And in case of, say, private banks, particularly, you see, barring ICICI Bank, you look at HDFC, you look at Kotak, you look at, say, all other IndusInd, Axis. So all of them are trading at a discount to their pre-COVID levels. So with your NPS under control, growth rates improving, I think the private banks actually can provide very steady returns even from the current levels.
Absolutely. I got that. Just a few other names here, Amnish. The auto names, right? I mean, Friday was a big day for names like M&M, Escorts. Yesterday, again, autos are doing well. M&M was the top gainer on the Nifty. Bajaj Auto sort of piled in. There was Hero, which did very well. This is just sort of rural recovery. I mean, that's the play which is working its way through.
Chand, it does seem so, because all these three stocks, they're a big play on the rural recovery, and with the monsoons being normal, a lot of hopes are there on the rural side. And you see, these two stocks, M&M and Scott, they have got tractor, but at the same time, M&M is perhaps the only player. If you look at the entire PV space, they are still growing in double digits relative to others which have been flattish or they have shown declining volumes. And with the Thar new launch which is coming, I think a lot of, you can say, the build-up and hopes are around that. And if their volumes in your PVs, they continue to be showing the growth the way are, I think M&M would have more legs, more upsides in the, you can say, coming months and quarters. Now coming to Hero, I think a classic, your rural play. And with the revival in rural demand, I think Hero should do well. In the past, say 6 to 7 months, the stock has done well. And I think from here on also it can outperform at least for the next 3 to 6 months.
Okay, all right, Amnish, we'll leave it there. A quick conversation, shorter conversation there, but appreciate you coming on here as always with us in CNBC. Amnish is still with us. Amnish, thanks very much for waiting. I just wanted your thoughts on, I don't know if you've, a couple of stories on Reliance Infra and, I mean, the comeback in that sense of the ADAG stocks. Fundraising happening in Reliance Infra, two prominent investors putting in money, the debt level, the debt being cleaned out, looking at newer opportunities on EVs, etc. I don't know if you've looked at this and how would you read it? Casually, people kind of, make all kinds of comments. Well, things like, that group starts to raise money. What does it mean for the market? But I think that may be a little unfair if you've not looked at what they're trying to do very specifically. I just wanted your thoughts.
Yeah, Prashant, I am not on top of what is happening in that company. So for me, not fair to make any comments.
Okay, that's a safe one. Got that. Amnish, what else are you watching out for? What's catching your interest?
You see, the main thing which is happening is, which I believe that a lot of hopes are getting built in on the festival season, rural, and what happens in the coming wedding season. So, like we used to say in case of, say, infra and many of these stocks, that every year we see that second half is going to be the driver. And it took many years for the recovery actually to set in. Now, the kind of valuations many of the sectors are trading at and the kind of optimism which is built in. So next 3 months are crucial from the demand viewpoint, whether it is rural, urban, or you can say broader demand. If we see any sort of a weakness in the demand in comparison to what people are anticipating, then I think that we might be overestimating the kind of, you can say, uptide in terms of, say, the overall growth.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot, Amnish, for joining in and helping us out with some fundamental analysis. Wishing you and your team a good day ahead.